Hello. Hi.
Hi.
Hello and welcome to the second half of this dungeon.
It's Ghost Rider.
Is it the really good one where Nicolas Cage takes like a crap ton of peyote and speed?
No,
God,
it's
I
the
hope
one
so.
where Nicolas Cage pisses fire.
Dude, that's just as great.
Is that the one where he eats jelly beans because he won't drink alcohol?
That's in the first one.
That first one is so fucking bad.
The second one's bad too, but in a more fun way.
You guys are talking about the original pitch for that Tim Schafer game, right? Where he
What? It'd be really bad.
yeah, where he no, what?
Oh,
Mean.
only with his money. Only with his money.
What the fuck you? Just because you have a boner for Tim Schafer, you said way worse things about Sonic Mania, an actual good game. I make a joke
You've
about
never
it being
played any of
bad.
his games though, so what ground do you have?
I played Psychonauts for 30 seconds at that gaming museum we went to 3 years ago.
You need to play
Are you
more.
talking about Brutal Legend or something else?
Yeah, I was talking about Brutal Legend because originally he's supposed to be taking peyote, and
Is that like Jack Black plays like a gamer?
no,
with a
that's
big
brutal.
guitar?
That's Brutal Legend.
I like Brutal Legend until like halfway through and I realized, holy shit, this is an RTS. I was so fucking pissed because like the first 2 hours of the game is this like mini tutorial land where you're getting all these like skills and attacks that are great for a one-on-one like third-person like brawler game. Like it doesn't get super in depth, and then blam, you're gathering resources and using those resources to build troops. It's like, fuck! I done got StarCrafted.
Oops.
It's so weird. Yeah, it's so weird.
But it's a good game, and like it's a genuine, amazing love letter to like metal music. Like it's so hardcore that you can't even put a playthrough of that game on with the soundtrack on. It's just that good.
Oh, is it really? Huh.
Yeah, but
I've never-
it's just gameplay wise, and like even the RTS shit's not bad. It's just I feel like there was a misdirection there. Like everything that I was learning from the game just kind of took a hard left turn.
You know what? We should do a Double Fine-a-thon. That's what we need.
I know. I think we all
So
do.
kids, what we learned here today is if you really want to upset Steven, just mildly insult a Tim Schafer game, and Steven will start to cry.
How dare you?
Hey,
How do you
Oh,
feel
I'm
about
sorry.
Ses-
You were talking in hypotheticals. Gotcha.
How do you feel about Sesame Street Once Upon a Monster?
ooh,
I've never seen it.
we can start with Tim Schafer's.
It is
Did
the,
Tim
it is the best
Schafer make
Tim Schafer game.
did Tim Schafer? Well, Tim Schafer made a Sesame Street game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did Double Fine make it, or was Tim involved?
I think Tim Schafer's the director on it. I know that. I forget if Double Fine specifically, but he was the director for it.
Because he was with LucasArts before, and LucasArts had a lot of the like third party things. Because he started with playtesting the NES port of Maniac Mansion, so that's kind of how he got involved with those guys. And then they went on to Data Tentacle, and then all the other LucasArts studios.
They went on to Date Tentacle.
No, they went on to Day of the Tentacle. But yes, I too would go on a date with a tentacle.
Date a tentacle.
It's the latest and greatest in reality game shows.
I mean, no kink shaming, just kind of weird. That's all. But no kink shaming. That's fine. That's fine. If you want to go Date the Tentacle, we've all seen hentai. You know where that's
As
going.
long as it's a supportive and healthy relationship, y'all can date all the tentacles you want.
I have a sort of like love-hate with Tim, like in the same way that I do with like Christopher Nolan. Like he's a great director, but he's a bad scriptwriter.
It's just tap.
I feel the opposite with Tim. I feel like Tim's a great scriptwriter, and maybe he shouldn't direct games because Grim Fandango, great story, not that great of a game.
Yeah. I think it's just kind of one of those things you gotta accept is that art is made by people, and video games are made by a lot of people, and peoples
Yeah.
can do all the things, even if we want them to.
The
Except
auteur
Toby
theory
Fox.
is dead.
Auteur theory is dead. Well, the author altogether
Lindsay
is
Ellis,
dead.
calm
We're
down.
more absent, I suppose. This dungeon has a lot of gauntlet rooms, like way more than all the others. And they're not even difficult, because they don't really up the difficulty of the enemies themselves.
There's a lot of skeletons.
Steven, if Tim Schafer and Dan Harmon joined forces to write Muppets in Star Wars, would you enjoy it?
If they wrote it without executives getting in the way, it would be a masterpiece.
Muppets in Star Wars. You heard it here first, folks.
There was the Muppet Baby Star Wars.
A Muppet Star Wars point-and-click adventure game with
I don't know if this is heresy, but I like Justin Roiland a bit more than Dan Harmon.
As a person or as an artist, like
creatively.
I think from all
But
accounts,
also as a person, yeah, Roiland is much better.
I think as a person, by all like from if you listen to any story involving the two, Justin Roiland sounds like the far better person. You know.
yeah.
You say fucking horror stories about the shit Dan Harmon's done. Nothing on the level of like a John Lasseter or like an actual preacher. He just seems like a very troubled man.
He's just an
No,
a-hole.
yeah,
He's
Dan
just
is-
an a-hole, not
Dan
a...
is incredibly. He's not. I wouldn't call him an asshole, but he's. If you go listen to all 300 episodes of the podcast, you'll get a very good scope of.
Oh my god! Well, okay.
Like Steven, I tried. Like I listened to a few episodes of Harmontown. I was like, you know what? I don't think I can take it anymore in such a short amount of time. I need to take a very long
I
break.
can't even
Wait,
talk
what episode
shit.
did you start on? The first one?
I went. This was like months ago after you showed me the
287.
no you showed me the D&D show he did, and then
Oh
you
yeah, Harmon
recommended
Quest.
Harmontown.
Harmon Quest is such
And
a
then
good show.
You recommended, so I went and I think I just downloaded like 3. I think sometimes if you go on the Apple Podcast, it'd be like the most popular episodes. So I just downloaded like 3 of those. So I forget which numbers they will have you. And like they're entertaining to listen to, but Dan Harmon as a person is like, I would happily spend an evening hanging out with him. But I don't think I could like hang out with him every single day.
I have like this
'Cause
thing.
I would get worn out.
You
with
couldn't
him.
be his friend.
I relate.
No. I
relate-
can be his friend. Sorry, Steven. I can be his friend, just not his close friend who needs my help every single day. I think that would wear me out with Dan Harmon. But I'm sorry, Steven. You were saying?
I was just gonna say, like, I have like some sort of affinity with people who are so real that it hurts. Like, I like people who other people consider to be assholes. I like Dan. I like Tim. I like Elon Musk. I like these people.
You like
Steven's got a tech
what was his
daddy.
name?
I do have a tech daddy.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, who the fuck? Who am I think the fucking scientist who has to ruin every movie?
Neil
Oh,
deGrasse Tyson.
That's the Neil deGrasse Tyson. You're a big fan of him.
I'm not a fan of him, but I've never been.
Sure is.
I've never been offended by what he's said.
Ooh,
You're in
DeGrasse
Sonic
Tyson.
Zeroes.
Son.
You were defending him. You were defending him pretty
Yeah,
hardcore.
Neil deGrasse type Tyson.
Neil deGrasse Tyson. We're a water tribe in this household.
Water tribe.
I've never been like you got so upset about him like being Godzilla couldn't exist, and I'm like, well, he can't. He can't exist. Why are you pissed
I
off?
wasn't. I'm not pissed off because my thing is the fact that he feels a need to say this shit. Obviously, Godzilla couldn't. What a stupid fucking thing
It's
to come out and try and make some like, "No, listen to me, I'm a scientist. Godzilla couldn't exist. No fucking shit, Neil deGrasse Tyson.
it's like Santa
think-
Claus.
No fucking shit.
It's like
I
Santa
think
Claus.
that's
Exactly. It's like what a pointless thing to try and sound intelligent over. Of course, fucking Godzilla couldn't exist.
All right.
Meanwhile,
But how dare you ruin it? Godzilla's ruined me. He's ruined me.
See,
Fuck
that's
you.
what I knew it.
Stop!
He's
He's
gonna use his
already
atomic breath and
dead.
kill you all.
Meanwhile, was that were you supposed to like have that one block on the 2, or was that a speedrunning strat?
That's as speedrunning strat,
Wow, me,
or it's
what?
just a logic strat, really. You don't have to do that, but it makes it significantly easier.
I love the effect that every time those blades touch something, they kind of glisten like an anime pair of glasses. I like that effect. It's pretty cool.
Those blades are getting some really smart ideas. They just developed their plan. Or what's that like old like meme picture where it's like a fan dub or something? Just like didn't translate the word plan, so they put like a translator note that's like this word equals plan. It's like fucking translated a plan, dude.
I was hoping for a second Mew was just gonna trap that thing so we couldn't move anywhere.
Go, my onion.
Oh, see,
Fly in the wind.
there is a speedrun shot where you can side jump, just because that's even with the boots, it's a set speed and distance. That's a little bit faster than his forward walk with boots. Let's see, Bread Boy is the toughest of Bread Boys. He's gonna stomp his way through the wind.
Stomp back the wind, bullseye.
Gareth, let's never talk about the Muppets ever again.
What?
Stop bringing it up.
I brought that up like 5 minutes ago. What a delayed reaction.
Sorry.
The Muppet movie is a masterpiece.
Yeah, Gareth, I'll join for the Let's Play in a second.
Then again, I'm that sick
We
person.
should find some Muppet game and make Steven Solo OP it.
I played Elmo Teaches Typing. Not really.
Jesus, typing.
No,
This is
it's Elmo's
amazing.
number quest. God
That's what it
damn
is.
it! There's
Yeah.
also Elmo's
See?
alphabet adventure. You fucking
Hell yeah.
Fuck
Philistines.
Steven, fuck Harmon Quest. It's what about Elmo's number quest.
God
There we
damn.
go.
Hey, Steven, would you watch the Happy Time Murders with me?
I don't know what that is. Sure, let's go for it.
It's
I mean,
I was-
MBM, I'll watch anything as long as I'm watching stuff with you.
aw, it's cool. It's a really not good movie
most-
with Melissa
Wow.
McCarthy. It's got a Muppet.
That response
Wow.
was great.
Yeah.
Mickey's
Wow.
Like, cool, whatever.
Sure.
Whatever. Fine, Steven, whatever.
Feel
That's
free
a
to
great
watch movies with
reaction.
me. I'm gonna watch them regardless. But hey,
That's like the time when TJ was saying something and Gareth replied with, "That's nice."
makes you think.
We were my favorite thing I ever did. We were talking about, it was me, TJ, and Jonathan. We were talking about at some point we should start going to comedy clubs more. And TJ said, you know, he goes, I know a guy who used to own a comedy club. And I just interrupted him and just said, well, how does that help us now? And TJ had this look on his face like I slapped him. It was the most beautiful thing. And then TJ didn't say anything for like 5 minutes after that.
If only you guys were on stage when that happened.
I know, we're gonna have people not laugh at us.
Hijack
Why-
the whole damn show.
Why does this guy have Shin Godzilla's mouth?
Speaking of, a comment I think of on at least a weekly basis is when TJ and I showed Steven Shin Godzilla, and to my surprise, he liked it, which I was happy with because it's a good movie.
TJ wasn't there
Which-
when you and I watched it.
I thought he was there.
Nope, it was just you and me.
You sure? Okay. But my favorite thing about that was obviously Shin Godzilla doesn't have a tongue, and Steven was just like, "Oh, that means he can't eat spaghetti." And I think about that on a weekly basis. Just the fact that Shin Godzilla cannot eat spaghetti.
This guy can eat spaghetti though.
Oh, this guy can eat the fuck out of spaghetti.
Tongue right
He
there.
can, he can eat out a
cutting,
lot.
He was cutting his tongue out.
Me would.
He's trying to eat a whole loaf of Bread Boy.
Yes.
I don't think you'd be very happy if I cut your tongue out.
Oh. Mine?
Yes, yours.
Oh, whatever.
All right.
Miwa, how do you pronounce King Ghidorah? Do you say it in the Japanese way of Ghidorah, or do you say it as the Western pronunciation of Ghidorah?
Never heard that in my life.
You don't even know your own culture, Miwa. What are you talking about? He's a giant three-headed golden space dragon. It's Japan's greatest folklore. How can you not know this?
I'm so sorry.
You should be, you bad girl.
Gareth, stop cyberbullying me when in our Let's Play.
You know, I can't get cap off.
Cap off!
I
And then the
can't
pills
get
fall over and
cap
she goes,
off. What have you done? She opened the bowl for you, young grateful
You
girl.
can get all the
Now
pills
you
off
can
the
take
floor
pills.
now! Like, go for it! Do it!
I fucking dude, that is one of my favorite
I-
moments of anything ever. Just, I can't get the cap off.
You had like the no, like, no! I'm like, like, no, to me that scene is like a masterpiece. I've seen that scene over way
I
more
love
than a
it.
healthy
You know,
human
but
being
because-
should.
Because that was a ABC Family movie, which means that Disney owns it, which means that it could be in Kingdom Hearts 4, and we could have Sora, voiced by Haley Joel Osment, meet that girl played by his sister Emily Osment, and then the Kingdom Hearts story will finally be complete.
There could be a whole level where they're in their group therapy session where she's like, but the things they say to you are true. It's like, wow, bitch.
OMG, she totally schooled Casey. Now the school's free again.
They essentially tear down the E-Giant and then the villagers celebrate.
You know how the sand grows and sinks? I wonder if this was like the polygonal inspiration for how the water works in Breath of the Wild. Because in Breath of the Wild, they have a ground layer and a water layer, and anytime they want water to be up to the surface, they just raise that layer up. I guess.
Oh, possibly, yeah.
Because they use the same effect in Twilight Princess, because the Arbiter's ground boss fight has raising and lowering sand levels as well, so they probably been just using that effect for a while.
Maybe.
I wonder how in terms of Nintendo, like how close the different teams who work on the first party games. Because I mean, like I know this doesn't exactly correlate to what Steven was just saying regarding the sand and water in this game, but I wonder if after Super Mario Sunshine, any other developers kind of tried to wanted to, because Super Mario Sunshine had fucking fantastic water, effects and graphics and all that stuff. So I wonder if any other first-party Nintendo teams were like, can we use your water stuff, please? We want to use your water stuff for a Zelda game. And Miyamoto was like, no,
Sure.
I keep my children separate for a
I'm sure
reason.
Nintendo, like any other company, just keeps proprietary
Yeah.
assets, and so it's just from there.
Well, it's funny because as we talked about in our Sonic Extreme video, like the Western Sega, official Sonic game team used some of Yuji Naka's code from Night into Dreams, and when Naka found out, even though it was for a Sonic game, Naka was like, "You cannot fucking use my code," and Sega were like, we kind of own it. It's our game." And Naka was like, "Fucking no, buy me another Ferrari, you pricks."
He was the original Penders.
You bite your tongue, Stefan. How dare you? How dare you insult the great Yuji Naka by comparing him to Ken Penders?
I didn't say he was Pen Pender. I said he was the original. Also,
What's-
that piece of heart was like that piece of heart is
Yeah,
broken.
what
in
is
half.
that?
Oh, that's interesting. When it cuts into the
game's
light,
terrible.
it disappears.
So it's not a piece of heart. It's half a heart.
Yeah, it's gonna be another one of the not the engine, but like the modulation that the game goes
I'd
through for
love
the
it
Wii U.
I'd love it if the text for that, because they're clearly having a conversation. I'd love it if just the King of Red Lion said, "So I sister Mabel," I says.
What's left in our adventure?
Triforce.
about three videos worth.
Go get the Triforce and then
Ganon's
go
Tower.
fight the man?
Then go fight Eggman. Yeah, that makes sense.
That was essentially the final like full dungeon with like item boss.
Oh yeah, the last dungeon is sort of just like a
I
big
mean, the
boss
final does have
fight
the light arrows, but it's too small. It's more of just the gauntlet and then the puzzle.
The maze.
And this is the part where the HD version changes it up a lot.
Oh, the frame rate.
Isn't that the squid from Sunshine? Isn't that the blooper?
Not quite
I
the
don't
same.
know. No.
Oh, it kind of looks like it. Let's rip its fucking tentacles off like Mario does.
Yeah, it kind of goes a little too far.
Damn, Miwa, that's fucked up.
He wasn't doing nothing to nobody, Miwa. He wasn't doing nothing to nobody.
See, I forget what
Yeah,
the
he was being flushed down the big ocean toilet and you just killed him.
Oh, but now it's become a sexy
Oh.
thing. That's fine.
She was cursed all along.
Wait a minute.
Waker of the Winds.
The wind, that water was going down counterclockwise. What hemisphere is that?
The Southern Hemisphere.
Whichever way you can
Huh.
make the toilet go down.
I don't know.
No.
I don't know geology.
Counterclockwise. Yeah, I mean, because
Isn't
that's
that
the whole
southern?
thing in the Simpsons episode when they go to Australia. It's the fact that it doesn't the toilets in Australia go
Which
counterclockwise. No, or is it?
does
Or is it America goes counterclockwise?
One of, I still don't know which is right and left. What's considered clockwise?
You
or
don't
counter-
know right and left?
What? Look at the clock.
How old are you?
At least 12.
He just turned 12. Steven, you remember his birthday was last week.
Happy
So
birthday,
is
Stefan.
Hyrule in the southern hemisphere then? Is that official? Is that canon? I'm coining
Yeah.
it.
You can make
Yeah,
the
sure.
water go whichever way you want down the toilet, though.
But this is in the ocean.
Did you just go? Oh, you teleported.
Teleportation, yeah. Shoo-bidi-boo-wop.
Oh, scary hand. Kill it.
Not nearly as scary as like past floor masters, but I feel like they're still pretty good. Yeah.
Bitch.
Why did you just say bitch for Stefan?
The way she threw the stick. It's just like, just gonna light this on fire, bitch.
Just
All right.
done. Don't want it no more.
I'm gonna set whatever I just threw it at on fire.
He's been picked up by Amethyst. Ah, bitch.
Would you like to say the title of what you're referencing?
No, I will not name the title of what that is referencing for.
That's the whole
Oh
point of
really?
it.
But you're such a big fan of it.
It is part 3 of that series.
Oh, why won't you say the title?
Because do you want to say what the title is, Steven?
No, don't.
Then shut up then. That's what I thought. Just type in Steven Universe YouTube poop, and if there's a trilogy that will share a common name, then you know what the fuck we're talking about.
You guys could come see this.
Well, that was very poorly edited. Meanwhile, I forget if I've asked this. Sorry, because we just brought it up. But is Steven Universe here in Japan? Are you aware of that aside from bad internet memes?
No, I'm not aware.
Oh, okay. You'd hate it. It's about a bunch of lesbian space rocks. You'd hate everything about it.
Yep. I hate lesbians.
But do you hate space rocks?
I'm indifferent.
So if the show was about a bunch of heterosexual space rocks, you'd enjoy it more.
Yeah, I'd come.
What the fuck?
It's gotta be equality.
Well,
See, it didn't need to go all the way to
that's
being
my mama.
It didn't have to go all the way to being heterosexual rocks. It could have just not been lesbian rocks. She would have been fine. But you had to go all the way to her fetish.
Yeah, they could have been gay rocks. Gay.
They could have been gamer rocks.
My fetish.
Oh
No
shit.
one wants to watch a bunch of gamers.
My fetish is privilege.
My fetish is privilege.
Well, that's the title.
That's amazing.
Bless you, Miwa.
If it wasn't for the fact that we've already all the titles for this are just MCU movies, because that's what we wanted to do, I would totally name this part My Fetish is Privilege. Hopefully between now and when this part goes live, Marvel will announce a movie called Iron Man 4 My Fetish is Privilege, and then I can use it as an episode title.
Hooray.
Oh, are you gonna get? Oh, you're gonna get 1,000.
It feels so good.
We're gonna need all this.
Oh yeah, 1,000.
I'll break these
Hey.
spots before you open the chest, because if you open the chest, you disappear.
Yeah.
Smart.
Remember there used to be a glitch where they used to farm the ghost ship by essentially
How
having
many
them phase out.
shards? How
That's smart.
Yeah, they
many
would phase out
shards
just
do you have to
farming.
get?
Shoot, because it's decreased in this version, isn't it? Or is it still at 7?
It's 7 because she just got one and it says 6 more to go. Because I think Tetra already has one. And so there's three shards for each Triforce piece.
And see, I was trying to see if they're
Okay,
gonna
so-
keep it like canonically with like Zelda 1 with how many Triforce pieces you collect in that game. Is that you get it's 8, and then the 9th dungeon is Ganon's castle. I think.
Just gonna punch this ocarina.
That was a whale.
I thought it was a shark.
It's weirdly shaped.
We'll see now that we have the true conundrum of the Zelda timeline.
Shark. Shark
Okay.
or not shark?
Tell us in the comments below.
What did you think the old man was doing to this poor defenseless piece of driftwood?
A Knight's Crest. Got like 20 of them.
I mean, you
Look
can
at
farm those damn things.
my belt. Old man, look at my belt.
For the love of God, put this belt on, you freak.
I got
I don't-
10 belts.
See, I don't get it. Why are you
I
guys
like
all
how-
into wrestling? This is hardly exciting.
The belt buckle looks like the Spectre logo from the recent James Bond movie Spectre.
A weird octopus.
Sure.
Yeah, the octopi.
No, it doesn't.
I'm gonna go move to an island.
Shut up.
I am.
Technically, you're already on one. America's a big ass island.
Just beat the old man with the master sword.
You just cut his legs off.
It's okay. He has like social security or something.
I thought you were gonna say it's okay. He's got spares.
Spare legs.
Oh, he's crying.
Meanwhile, when you got to this part and the old man started to cry, did that make you happy?
No comment.
That's okay. I think that means she liked it.
No. I'm not a naughty girl.
It's like old crying men. It's just like Miwa's last birthday. We're gonna catch it.
Happy birthday, Miwa. Your gift is I give you my privilege.
It's a lot.
It was actually.
He just fucking breaks all this shit in his grandmother's house.
She's doing good. She can clean it up. The whole point of healing her. She needs a hobby.
So,
Give me some fucking soup.
I don't know if you noticed, but I tried to include everything I did in the Let's Play videos to give context to everything. So if I want to get something, then I'd show it, even if it had no bearing. Or I didn't have to show it.
Fair enough.
Because I used that spin once. But I wanted to show me getting it, so you know,
Oh.
I got it.
You know, Daisy Miwa, that's good. It beats Stefan leaving in him dying that same thing 17 times.
But then you'll have something to laugh at me at.
I won't lie, I was thinking after we did the last LP, I was thinking, like, as much as we were joking about it, don't ever change, Stefan. You're perfect the way you are. I love your OPs.
Question though, Miwa.
I wouldn't change. I couldn't change even if I tried. I'm still 5 nothing.
She was gonna ask.
Um,
If this was
I
gonna
love
occur,
I love the pit of 100 trials.
This
But,
just
How many?
are you gonna show then just every time that you go back for soup, or
no.
no? Okay, so just for quest or like one-time get items, you show that.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Well, this part looks easy.
Like this is the
We was doing it really quickly.
easiest part of the game once you can speed through it all.
I should have eaten soup here.
It would have saved some time, doubled your damage, been able to kill things faster. I mean, these are valuable frames that we're fast forwarding through.
This
And
took
all in
half an hour.
2.5 hertz.
Look at that perfect quarter circle backslash.
We like to call those a 214.
Oh, no, we don't.
No, I think that's notation for quarterback circle. You don't know about my video games, Dad.
Steven hasn't said anything. I'd like to imagine this fast forward motion video has just freaked him out. He's just crying on the floor now.
No, it's not. So I want to make sure that he's not on the floor.
Just by saying anything, I think.
It's the reason they put a warning advisory before every Wii game.
Yeah, I think this video just gave him a seizure. I don't think Steven's happy anymore. Steven, you okay?
He's on mute.
Oh no, this part killed Steven.
4 remaining.
And nothing of value was lost.
What you only didn't realize is that recording Let's Plays is like its own battle royale.
So how many pits are there in this?
100.
100, but you have to, no. Oh yeah, 50. But you have to do 30. You only have to do 30.
Oh, okay.
Do you get anything if you do all of them?
Yeah, you get a magic shield. But I'm not gonna get hit, so I bother.
Ah, look at that fucking hashtag humble brag from me.
Well, that was just a guy, not a humble.
You don't even get it after getting to the end. You have to still play a song.
That's some bullshit.
You got a thing?
Yeah, just remember back
You got
back
a
then,
thing.
half of these were all still just charts. You would go through all of those ordeals, you just get a chart. Be like,
Yeah, thankfully that was all.
fuck.
Yes. Yeah, that was. I mean, like, I love Wind Waker, the original, but that was like, oh, fucking hell, that was tedious as shit.
I'd be down.
I feel like the only person who didn't feel like that was that tedious. Am I wrong?
Well, that's because as a kid you were told that Tim Schafer made this game? Like, oh, it's the best game ever
I
made.
didn't even know who he was then.
Come on, guys! You know
Come
that.
on,
You
guys!
said no.
Be nice! I'm nice to you!
That just reminded me. Where is his sister?
Yeah, but then we leave us. End the part there. Fucking end the part. It's the part that was perfectly timed. Oh yeah, where is his sister? Hard cut to black. Just end it there. That's fucking perfect. Oh,
And
that was good.